Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, welcome back to yet again another patch notes video. In this patch, we will be going over, in this video, we will be going over patch 11.3. So as much as I hate to say it, I'm pretty much done with League, so this patch notes will probably be quick. And what I say by I'm done with League is I got gold, so my willingness to play this game has just straight plummeted down. Although I still love League of Legends. It is one of my most played games of all time. It's League of Legends. If you play League, you know. So anyway, probably going to breeze over some stuff. Hopefully I'll hold myself to my own word, but we'll see. So anyway, what's going on? Welcome to February and another big old patch. This time around we took a large sweep across items to tweak what's hitting too hard. Okay. Tank, Enchanter, Marks, and Fighter may. Okay, for staying, we're continuing to reassess systematic healing by adjusting stats on Omnivamp on powerful items like Gore Drinker and Stax Gauge. Oh wow, surprise, surprise, healing's an issue. The intent here is to balance the stats' strength while keeping them viable and, you guessed it, sustainable. That's going to be very hard. Then it's the usual champ balancing with some sizzle for Jinx. Oh, shit. Jinx buffs, okay. And some more for AP Shiv. Ew. Now that Shiv hasn't been voted, they need to, buffer. And for context, for those of you who don't know, Shiv was on the list for people to get VGU, I believe. I don't know if the visual was involved, but definitely gameplay update. And unfortunately, she lost to Udry. So Udyr is getting the, hopefully, VGU, so his ultimate can actually look good. His ultimate skin, not his ability ultimate. But anyway, yeah, so they're probably buffing AP Shiv because they're going to do nothing to her for a while. So we're tamping down champs like Rammus. I never thought he would be ridiculous. And Elise. Interesting. On that side, AR Earth is back. Thank you, God. I can play that with the pass. We've made a few changes in live the new item landscape, so okay, cool. Let's see. Holy shit, that's a lot of stuff. So, I'll go over the skins at the end. Oh god, hold on. I feel it coming. Excuse me. Ooh. Anyway, Anivia. What do I think of Anivia? I haven't played Anivia. I haven't really seen Anivia. Anivia is probably still decent to bad, maybe. Let's see. Since her refresh in patch 10.25. Oh, yeah. I forgot they did that shit. I guess it didn't really do much since I'm not seeing Anivia. Anivia's been leaving her enemies in the cold with high spell consistency and damage. I don't feel like that at all. I've barely seen Anivia in the little times I have played this game in this patch. So, the Q damage is going down slightly with slight scaling. That's fine. And then the cooldown for the R is basically doubled late, but with cooldown reduction, that should be fine. This is fine. Kogoth! I think Kogoth is actually pretty good. I think he is very tanky and just doesn't die. And it's worse with Kogoth. If the tanks are good, Kogoth is going to be great. Because he does true damage, which is something you always want. Gets more tank, and by tank I mean health, than most of the other tanks. You know, excluding Scion. And he's just an issue. He has decent CC, decent damage. He's just all around good if tanks are good. Like, he's a step above other tanks in my opinion. And as far as I know, tanks are pretty good, so he's probably getting nerfed. With the last round of tank item buffs, exactly what I said, has been feasting in top lane. So they're lowering his E by 12 damage, just does nothing. Elise, apparently Elise is good in the jungle. I haven't seen it. I think Elise is total trash with her kit. She's literally like the AP Lee Sin. You're supposed to heavy gank early, get ahead early, do something early, and then if you don't, you're kind of useless and do nothing besides a pick. But with Elise, it's easier to get a pick. With Lee Sin, in my opinion, it's harder. Anyway, let's see. So they're nerfing her Q by 20 base damage. That's pretty big, I guess. I don't know what Elise max is, but... And then the attack speed on W... Oh, God, that's a huge nerf late. Jesus Christ. Hopefully this nerfs Elise. I don't think it matters. I think Elise is fine. Ezreal. Okay, Ezreal is probably one of the worst ADs, unless they finally figured out what to build and go on him with this new season. I feel like this new season hasn't helped Ezreal in any meaningful way. A lot of the items he used just really aren't that good on him anymore. And it seems honestly, and I don't really hate saying this, but it is the truth. It seems honestly like the only AD playstyle that got love was crit. On hit is kind of an afterthought. It's kind of just lumped in with crit now, because to go on hit you build crit anyway, unless you're really going on hit, which is like the old on hit with Wit's End and Nashers and stuff. But that's not really ideal now unless you're going against a mixed team, or unless you want to do mixed damage. It's weird. But I feel like the most love went to crit ADC builds, and Ezreal, as you guessed it, builds no crit. So they have to buff him. He's too weak. I don't know what they could buff about him without changing the items. Maybe, I don't know. The fact that Ezreal's item choice for Mythic is Divine Sunder is like so strange to me. But anyway, Ezreal hasn't been faring too well with the new item system. To give him more of a Mystic shot, we're buffing his Q ratio to better synergize with Mirror Mana. That's good. Also giving him more value when building heavy AD items like Hydra. Imagine you told someone, hey, in the future, Ezreal is gonna build Hydra. They would have looked at you with like a fucking sideways like face. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, how much are they buffing it? They're buffing it by 10%. That might not seem like a lot, but it's pretty decent. It's AD. It's not even like bonus AD. It's total AD. So this is pretty decent. Is it enough though? I don't think so. I think crit's still better. Ivern. I heard Ivern was actually good, and he's only good because of the support items. And unless they're nerfing the items, they're gonna nerf him. Or maybe both. Who knows? Well, it's great to see Ivern wandering around outside of his usual home, aka in the gutter, because no one played him. He's still too effective meandering around the jungle. Yeah, because if he's too good, it's too easy to play him. You don't have to jungle with him. You just click something and gank. Honestly. Anyway. What are they doing? His health growth is getting less, so this definitely hurts his clearing, his ganking, him overall. This hurts a lot of things, because for those of you who don't know, and I don't expect a lot of people to know, the way Ivern works is he can't damage jungle camps. Instead, he sacrifices a set portion of his health and mana to do the camp, I believe. And that gets less as you go on with the game, I think. So, giving Ivern less health means you're taking more away when you sacrifice it to the camps. So, it might not seem like a lot, but it's something to look at. And that's pretty big. So, trigger seed. Shield is going down by 20 late. This is whatever. Ivern's still going to be decent. I don't think this is going to do too much. Jinx. Okay, what do I think of Jinx? So, I think, obviously, the two top ADs, from what I see from the tier lists and my own play, because everyone in my division follows the tier list in my rank, Kai'Sa and Jhin are basically kind of the best. Samira's decent, although I feel like she gets hard countered by tanks and CC. But, what AD doesn't, aside from Vayne. In general, I think Jinx is like, if we're calling Jhin and Kai'Sa S tier, I feel like she's decent if you have a good support. Like if you give her shit, she's good. I would place her around like B to A tier, maybe top of B, lower A. Definitely not great, but not bad. And if she gets going, she could do a lot. But she's a little weak. I don't know why they're buffing her. I think she's honestly fine. I don't think she's too weak. But hey, I'm not complaining about buffs. So what are they doing? Base health decreased. Okay, so they nerfed her. Q bonus range increased. Oh? Fishbone's bonus attack speed penalty decreased. Oh? E cost increased. Arm time decreased. Max range cast adjusted? What? The new item changes have not been kind to Jinx. False. Maybe they haven't... Going Kraken Slayer kind of feels like not that good on Jinx, even though it should. But for some reason it doesn't. And then, you know, the other items, if you go it on her, you feel like you're doing no damage anyway. So maybe that's just the problem. She's not doing enough damage. So anyway, we want to make some priority adjustments to the items in general first before tackling her, and now it's finally time. Additionally, since she's been primarily out of pro play for a while, we're shifting some of her kit's power from raw stats to her abilities. What? Interesting. So her base health is going down by a shit ton. Like 610 to 550, that is a lot. So that's pretty interesting that they're taking that much away. It's going to make her super squishy. Like, if you thought aggressive lanes were bad going as Jinx into them before, it's going to be hella worse now. This is a good amount of health they're taking off. And then the Q bonus range, it's only up by 25. I mean, I think now you'll get 725. I mean, range is range. At the end of the day, Varus does feel great. And even though he only has, like, what? 575, 600? I think it's 575. So, like, the range matters, but I feel like that's such a PP change. But the Fishbone's attack speed thing is pretty good. What that basically means is that you can attack faster using the rocket. Once you have, like, 3 stacks on your minigun. That's pretty good. It's basically like you're almost losing almost no attack speed, which is really good. The cost of Flame Chompers goes up by 20. That doesn't really matter. The arm time is 0.5. That's good. When casting Flame Chompers further than max range, it now casts to the max range instead of causing you to walk into range. Thank you, God. That is such a welcome change. It's insane. That's so good. That's so fucking good quality of life. That should have been there a long time ago, but that's great. That's honestly, I think, one of the biggest changes to her E they could ever do, and it's great. Jinx, probably a little better after this. She's squishier, but I don't really see her carrying that much harder. I mean, the bonus range helps her be safe, but I feel like she just needs damage, which I guess she's getting with the attack speed penalty being lowered, but even then, it's barely anything. I don't know. Jinx is definitely better, but I don't think by much. Karma, I hate this bitch. She needs to get nerfed. Bringing good Karma to support Karma. Okay, so they're buffing her. This is ass. I hate Karma. Mordekaiser. I think with all the bleeds and the dots from, like, Liandry's and Helm, I think Mordekaiser's kind of doing maybe a little too good with all the bleeds and the pen and everything. Think about how much pen you get. You get penetration from Liandry's. You get penetration from Boots, and then you get penetration from E. Like, you get a lot of pen on Mordekaiser. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, what are they doing? Mordekaiser isn't grasping the new season well, really, so we're giving him more grasp. We're moving this along with other system changes. Rift Machar, giving him more health. Okay. I guess you don't get fucking, Liandry's. We'll help him navigate the strange new world. Okay, so I guess he wasn't strong. I feel like he kind of is, though. The E cooldown is going down. I feel like the E cooldown early is ridiculous. Like, have it be at least, or at most 18. Like, it does not need to be 22. 24 to 22 is nice, but it's like, come on, it's 2 seconds. It really doesn't matter. You basically are trying to get a fight once every wave. Maybe twice. Mostly once. Which is Mordekaiser, it kind of just leads to lane being boring, and you could either get kited or just hard fucked. But, I mean, this is a step in the right direction. I don't think it changes much. Olaf. I heard Olaf is going sicko mode in pro play, so they're obviously going to nerf him. I don't know what they're going to nerf aside from just stats and, like, maybe how much he heals. Just literally stats, that's it. Let me see. Base health decreased, okay. Passive bonus attack speed decreased, okay. Now displays amount of attack speed on passive icons. That's great. Olaf is dominating the jungle where nerfing his clear speed and dueling slightly, so he's a bit more dependent on finding successful ganks. So what do they mean by this? They basically don't want Olaf to go into the enemy jungle and just face fuck you. That's basically what they mean. The nerf to his base stat of health is decent. It could have been more. They could have put it to like 550. But then he'd be as squishy as an AD, which doesn't make sense. So maybe 560. 575 is okay too. And then Berserker Rage, his bonus passive attack speed is going down by 25. That's really good. So overall, Olaf is nerfed. I still think he's decent. I think the attack speed hit is definitely going to be felt and is going to hurt. But he should be okay. Maybe this might actually shake him out of the jungle as the top role, though. Maybe. I think they might need a little more, though. Pantheon, he's also a problem. Why? Because they buffed him top lane, and he's going support and killing the whole bot lane. Exactly what they didn't want to happen. So they're probably going to nerf him into the ground again to where he's only a support and does no damage. Q now has decreased damage against both minions and monsters. Cooldown increased early. Okay. They're doing it for mid and jungle. Interesting. So their nerfing is clear, so you can't go mid. Although this probably hurts him top too. The cooldown is going up by a decent amount early. Jesus Christ. 10 to 13. It's not going to feel as spammable, which I actually like. I think he should choose a little bit more. Like, it feels like if Pantheon wins, he just wins super hard, which I guess it's supposed to be that way. Actually, I'm changing my opinion. I think Pantheon should remain strong for early because he's god-awful late, so taking away his power early is kind of stupid and plays against his character. I think this is a bad change. I think they should just leave Pantheon be strong. I don't know how you deal with him in the bot lane, but honestly, at this point, I'm willing to compromise and just say leave Pantheon, like, decently strong, so at least he sees play. I really kind of feel bad for the Pantheon players. His champion has been a mess. Rammus. I actually don't know if they changed Rammus into what they said they were doing on Wild Rift, and to elaborate on that, basically in Wild Rift they're buffing him to make him more fun for the phone by his ult being a jump, basically. You jump and the area you land in is like the tremors, basically, and if you Q and jump you like do more damage. But let's see what's going on. Apparently he's OP. I don't know why. His taunt is getting the cooldown to 12, which is honestly fine. That's really fine. That's whatever. Okay, Rel. I think Rel is probably hot ass. I played it with Elijah a lot. She feels really fucking slow. Her ulti feels useless as fuck unless you're going against someone who has everything down and not really that much of a brain. And, I mean, she's tanking, she sets stuff decently well, and she goes in there and shit. Honestly, I think the best part of her kit is the little tether she has that gives you armor and the stun. Everything else about her is just really lackluster. Her engage is okay, but it doesn't always knock up because it's so fucking slow. If they just made that a little bit faster, I think Rel would be really decent, if not good. But I don't think they're going to do that because I guess they want their new champions to be ass. So what are they doing? W1, W2 damage ratio increased. I don't think damage was the issue. E damage ratio increased. Damage is not the issue here. Unbind cooldown decreased. That doesn't matter. Cooldown bug fixed. No one cares. Long distance pathing bug fixed. Wow. And then our damage ratio increased. They're just buffing her damage. I mean, eventually, if you just over buff her damage, then maybe she'll be good. You know, maybe despite missing half her kit and half her kit not mattering, at least if it connects, you'll do damage. But, like, even then, I don't think that's the point of the champion. So far, so good for Rel. So no meaningful balance adjustments. I feel like she's ass, but whatever. These changes are light usability work and bug fixes. It doesn't feel like light usability. It feels like you're just giving her damage. And then they're buffing AP Rel. Okay, interesting. So the unbind cooldown is 1 second. That's just, I guess, a quality of life thing. And then everything else is whatever. Okay, you shouldn't be playing AP Rel anyway. Rel's still ass, in my opinion. Riven! I've barely seen Riven, so she's probably going to get buffed. This new season put Riven in a weak spot, and with high cooldowns on her E, she lost her mojo. Yeah, because the one thing that breaks Riven is cooldown. So they're actually buffing the E by an insane amount. That's actually crazy. I didn't think they'd make it that low. Excuse me. Because when Riven is good, Riven is really good. And the E is like the major point of contention. I remember back in the day when I used to play, Riven's E was the main problem everyone had with her kit. Her stun was pretty ridiculous too. Honestly, her whole kit was ridiculous. She had so much mobility at the time. Now everyone comes out with a dash. But at the time, she had so much mobility. And the mobility gave her a shield. It was unthought of, unheard of, and the shield scaled off AD. which was like, what is happening? It was so ridiculous. But since then, she's never struck in fear into my heart as when she first did when I played League, so they're probably buffing her, and, you know, I was right, they are buffing her. And they're buffing her by like an insane amount, 8 to 6 seconds, and then you build cooldown on top of that. She's gonna always be Eing and actually be probably a decent duelist just because she could tank so much damage. Will this make her good? Probably not if the problem is her items, but this will definitely help existing players. I don't think this is gonna do too much except really buff the Riven mains. Like, this is a really good change, just not enough because the items honestly fucked a lot of champions over. Like, it's really crazy. Anyway, Seraphine. Seraphine's probably getting nerfed, and that's because one of the stupid fucks from Pro Play is playing her as an AD, and apparently she's good. And again, I don't know what Riot's thinking, but they're like, oh, let's make a better Sona, but she's designed for mid lane, even though she's really not, and people are going to play her support, but she's meant to be an off-roll support. But if she's played support, we don't like that. We want her mid. But then she does nothing mid, so we're buffing her, and then that leads to people playing her more support and not really mid, because she's a squishy bitch. So, essentially what I'm saying is, they're going to get into this cycle of, okay, and it's worse too, because Seraphine has the ultimate skin. That's going to make Riot really look at her and try and sell her. Fucking K-pop star. So, they're going to buff her, because they want her mid. Because mid is, I'm assuming, one of the most popular roles. But she's terrible mid. And they're going to keep buffing her, but then people are going to play her support because I still think no matter what, she's a terrible mid. Because her whole kit's based on doing something with someone else. So unless they completely overbuff her, which at that point, why wouldn't you go her bot? It's an easy win. It's like, okay, you have to go her mid. And they can't make her, you know, a tank or anything. She's so squishy that even if you do overbuff her damage, she dies in like 3 hits anyway. So might as well go bot where everyone's weak down there early unless you play a mage anyway. So It's a cycle. It's basically a fucking cycle. So anyway, Seraphine is often front and center with her strong stage presence in mid lane and other roles. Yeah, no, not in mid lane, bitch. She's in need of some tuning down. Base note damage. Okay, so they're nerfing her because she's doing too good. I doubt it's in mid, though. The shield... These do nothing. These do fucking nothing. Because if this was true, if this was a nerf for mid, how much damage are they nerfing? 1 damage early. Wow. You're not going to have a lot of notes either because there's no one near you. So this only really nerfs support Seraphine. You only get 1 note when you're near yourself. Like, what are they doing? And then the shield, again, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing here. Seraphine is whatever. We'll ignore that. Okay, Shyvana. Q-empowered basic... Okay, they said they're buffing her, right? I'm pretty sure they're buffing her. Okay, they're giving her an AP ratio on Q. That's actually insane. And W burnout speed. That's crazy. Holy shit. So they're actually making it so you don't really rely on just one ability for AP Shyvana. You kind of get benefit for all of them. Which is good. This is definitely a huge buff to AP Shyvana. But I'm kind of scared. I don't like AP Shyvana. But that's really good. I think AP Shyvana is going to be played a lot more. I don't know what kind of lie they're trying to spout here, where AD Shyvana has been tearing it up on the Rift. I've never seen that. I haven't seen that in so long. Okay, Singed. I think Singed is hot ass. Why? Because the items don't really help with him. The only thing I could really think of is like Chem Tank. But even then, I don't know. Maybe Liandry's. Singed has been struggling since preseason. Why? Because the item rework was kind of bad. And even more so after the recent Imperial mandate changes. Yeah, oh my god, that's so stupid. We're adding some power back to his signature spell. Remember, always chase Singed. Stupid. So they're just buffing AP Singed, which is fine. This does really nothing. Silas is pretty ass, I would say right now. I don't know why. I'm just going to blame it on the items. The Q cost is down. I guess that kind of helps him. The damage on W is up by not that much, though, so I guess Silas is still ass. I think it's just the healing that made him ridiculous. Healing and cooldowns. Talia's also... excuse me. Talia's also ridiculous, and she's mostly ridiculous in the jungle. ironically enough. Adrian was on this wave before most Talia players, and I'll always give him props for that, even though I hate his bald ass. Adrian, the local Talia main, was like, okay, Talia jungle is like really good now, and I didn't believe him, but I mean, hey, in pro play they could really change your mind. Talia's really good setup, really good pressure, kind of globally almost, really good damage, good team fight. Like she's just pretty good. So because she's so good, I'm pretty sure they're gonna nerf her. I hope to dear God they don't nerf her fighting potential, because then she's not gonna play jungle or mid. I'm hoping they just nerf her jungle clear, either with some cooldown or something. Even though the cooldown is kind of integral to her kit, but I don't know. I don't know what they could do. Okay, what are they doing? Talia's jungle surfing at elite levels of play has been seismic. Yep. We're reverting some previous changes while narrowing in on specific jungle clear nerfs. Okay, so they're nerfing how much damage she does to camps? They're buffing her move speed? Huh? I thought they were supposed to nerf her. Okay, so I guess she could do ganks faster and better, get around the map faster. It's interesting. And then the Q, subsequent stone damage against monsters, is lowered by 20. Actually, that's a big amount. So her jungle clear is definitely nerfed, but I'm glad they didn't really nerf anything else. This is fine. It's a decent change. It's literally just hurting her clear, and if that's hurt too much, she kind of becomes unviable, but we'll have to see if this is too much or just enough. Or not enough. I don't know. I honestly have no clue with Talia. Udyr! Hopefully they don't change Udyr too much because he's getting the VGU, but we'll see. Our total base active or damage decreased later. Oh my god, okay. So the items he's using are already getting nerfed, so he's getting not that big of a nerf. Okay, cool. I still think he's going to stay the same. Unless the items are really getting toned down. Vladimir. What do I think of Vlad? I think Vlad is still pretty ridiculous. I think when I see Vlad, I either think of one, someone who just doesn't know how to play him and he does nothing. Or two, someone who's like a Vlad one trick and just dominates. I don't know what it is about Vladimir, but whenever I see a good Vladimir, I get so like scared. I feel like he's unkillable and just nukes. He's the unkillable nuke man. But anyway, what are they doing? Now that we've taken a couple stabs at balancing out preseason, they're changing Vladimir. Has been left a little worse. Interesting. I think he's been okay. I mean, we take a different route and opening up access to his ult. This really does nothing. This is stupid. Vladimir's the same. Mage items. We're doing a pass on mage items to create more balance, aka they were still ridiculous, so they're nerfing them. Lich Bane's going down. Horizon Focus is going up. Interesting. That's pretty good, actually. I think this item was already pretty decent. Verdant Barrier. This shit's ass. Banshee's Veil. Nice. It's getting buffed because almost no one used it. Seeker's Arm Guard. Nerfed. Zanya's nerfed. Zanya's is always going to be used. Enchanter items. A.k.a. the fucking support items. Staff of Flowing Water. Nerfed. It's pretty good. You can basically have it always on. You always get staff with what is it called? Moonstone Renewer? I think that's it. So you basically are always getting value out of this item, which is actually quite insane when I thought about it. But anyway. Chemtech Putrefier, 60. And powers out his next damage to the enemy champion with 60. Wait, what? So they made it more of a support item that's less reliant on CC and more reliant on just damage. That's actually interesting. I think it's better. I think honestly it is better. You're gonna proc it more often. And with healing being, you know, as crazy as it always is, this is pretty good. Being anti-healing being up more often is good. Fighter items. Silvermere Dawn. I didn't even know this was a fucking item, but I guess it is, so they're buffing it. Excuse me. Iron Spike Whip no longer deals more damage to low health mains and monsters. Nice. Marksman items. Oh, let's see these. Okay. We're noticing that Phantom Dancer is rarely built as a second item. Yeah, why would it be? And almost never as a third. Not many champions need that much attack speed. Yeah, it gives insane amounts. You go over the cap. You hit the cap, so you're getting wasted stats. So we're reshaping what the items give to marksman champions. We're also adding more oomph to Immortal Shield Bow, since it's only purchased by hard-bound, short-ranged users that benefit from lifesteal, aka Samira. And even then, it loses out often to Gale Force. They need to just nerf Gale Force somehow. I don't know how that's the most ridiculous one, but it is. So anyway, what are they doing? They're finally giving AD to PD, which is great. That's a good thing. They're lowering the attack speed, which is great. Stacks for the bonus attack speed lowered, which is absolutely great. And the bonus attack speed is 30%. This is lovely. This is actually lovely. But let's think about it. So overall, you'd gain 85%, 85% attack speed once this item's really in its power, like, peak. Now you get, so 85, 30, 40, 50. So you get 55 from 85. So you're losing out on 30% attack speed. But again, the problem was it was a wasted stack because it gave you too much. And at that point, you just rather go damage. PD now is actually decent. I would say it's very decent, and I actually might start building it second. I don't think I will a lot, though, unless I really just want to brawl. Like, there's other AD items you build second that are just, in my opinion, better, aka the Collector. They need to do something about the Collector. I feel like that's such a good item. But I kind of like it, so I don't want them to do anything. But in terms of health for the game, I feel like the Collector is just always relevant. It's just always built, no matter what. Mortal Shield Bow, okay, more attack speed, more damage, decent. And Lord Dom's Armor Pen, 25 to 35. That's pretty big for dealing with tanks. That's really big. Because right now, even me, myself, I always go, not Lord Dom's, because that's what just got changed. Executioner builds into, goddamn, I'm forgetting the item name. The fucking anti-healing one. Whatever it's called. The opposite of Lord Dom's. That's anti-healing. I always build that one. But now Lord Dom's is a little bit more interesting, but people are still probably going to build the other one. Unless they're against full tanks, but... Okay, so sustain items. Basically, I'll tell you right now what they say. It's too much. It's too much. There's too much healing. So, they're nerfing Gore Drinker. Thankfully, it was a little ridiculous. Leeching Lair, I didn't think this item was that ridiculous, but on certain champions, it was. They're nerfing Riftmaker by almost half, which is a little insane to me. They're giving it more health, though, but they're making it scale with Omnivamp and giving you more damage. So, honestly, I like the new Riftmaker. It's not that strong early, which it kind of was. It did heal you for a lot early, I will admit. And it scales, and in my opinion, I'd rather have the AP than the Magic Pen. So overall, this is a better item for everyone, I believe. For the game's health and for the people using it as well, because it gives AP now. Not bad. Eclipse, this item is just a problem item. They're giving it more of a shield, less Omnivamp. Ravenous Hydra, less Omnivamp. I feel like Ravenous probably healed you a lot, too, with its healing. With just like how it works with the AoE. And then Sterix, Lifeline Shield is going down, Lifeline Shield duration going down. I don't know why the fuck they touched Sterix, I didn't think it was that crazy. Tank items, so they're addressing some weak options like Force of Nature, which I thought was actually pretty decent, but it's even better now. Udyr is gonna love this item even more. Deadman's is a little too busted, so they're taking some health. That is okay, that's okay. Frozen Heart, I didn't think was all that, but then again, I'm not a tank player, so I wouldn't know. But they're making it so you're less tanky, but it costs less. Cool. Zon Clash. Cool. ARF Balance. I'm actually curious. Earth has seen the item changes. Oh, yeah, that's true. The intent is to allow players to build the items they want without worrying about missing out on any value. Now, even though your starting cooldowns will be ever so slightly higher, you can now build ability haste and mana items. What? That's crazy, actually. You could get your cooldowns even lower than the original Earth. Ability haste you gain from other sources will stack with the Earth bonus, unlike in previous runs. That's actually exciting. The Earth bonus ability haste also applies to summoner spells and item active, similar to... Oh my god. Bossman will now be converted into health? What? That's crazy. Belt Thief's Edge Steel will be disabled. The gold penalty for killing minions Amazon far exceeds any value you would normally get. Nice. The rune's lethal tempo and ultimate hunter will no longer be disabled. Oh my god, they're really making Aerith good. The fact that I can use lethal tempo as Cog and I already have a shit ton of attack speed, I'm actually ready. I'm actually really excited now. Holy shit. That's so good. Bug fixes, I don't care. Oh, I saw the collector actually. What does the collector do? Nice. Okay, and finally, to end this patch off, the skins. In total, I think Lunar Beast is okay. It's not particularly a skin line I like. I think the effects are decent. I think the Shanghai ones are pretty decent too, but those were last patch. I feel like these are connected though. I'm surprised we did not see any Viego changes actually, because I just saw him here. I actually think Viego is like hot garbage ass, and I'm really surprised they did not touch him. But yeah. So anyway, the skins. I think they're all decent. I don't really like any of them. The splash outs are hot as fuck, but you expect that now. I love the Crystal Rose skins, though. I think the Crystal Rose and Withered Rose skins are actually really, really nice. I really love both of them. Like, I originally thought Crystal Rose, Zyra, and Swain were debonair with how, like, fly they looked, but these skins are, like, beautiful, in my opinion. Not the best, but, like, really, really good. I think these skins are really nice. And then you have the chromos. Overall, pretty decent patch. They did try and address some issues with AD, which I'm very happy about. I think overall they did pretty decent. They didn't really change too much, though. I think overall they actually did pretty well, though. I'm gonna carefully... I might be giving too much. Actually, yeah, I think I'm not gonna give too much. I was gonna give this patch an 8 Marc Merrills out of 10. I'm just going to give it a 7.5. I think there were decent changes here, but there was some like this, which is, you know, is stupid. And then Pantheon change I don't agree with. But Riven is good. Shyvana's change is good. Mostly, like, stuff I didn't really disagree with too much, honestly. Like, they're trying to help ADs out, too. Yeah, I'm going to stick with 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 is fair to me. Alright, cool. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I might be back for the next patch video, who knows. No one really cares about these anyway, but I like doing them, so that's what matters. But anyway, yeah, 7.5 Marc Merrills out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will be back hopefully in 2 weeks. But I'll definitely be playing the pass now, so yes.